a lot of money, and I was still not very technical, but the technicalities, the setup by itself cost me thousands of dollars. My website still looked like shit at the time. It loaded like, it took like 6 seconds to load. I don't remember if you know that dumbass photo I had on my blog, Dave. You know that photo? Yeah, that photo was me actually kneeling on top of the van that I lived in Hawaii. I needed a photo for my blog, so I took this shirtless photo and I put it on the top of my blog, and I was actually kneeling on the $650 van that I lived in on the top of my blog, and it was all crooked and everything like that, and that still cost me hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But you know what the thing is? That was still worth it. And I'm thinking back over the last few years, Dave, I'm just glad I made a decision when I did. I just don't want people to have to go through what I went through when I actually got started online, because I tried it for a long time, and here's what I realized. I realized there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle that people don't understand. You've got to understand how to make capture pages like Dave Sharp. Dave Sharp makes these little beautiful pages that are the sexiest goddamn things you've ever seen in your life, that he just stares at them for hours and hours and hours, and the whole goal of the page is to get you put your email address in. I've never been good at that. You got to know how to sell stuff. You got to understand how to set up a blog. You've got to maybe pay for some coaching. You got to maybe pay for some products. You got to buy a lot of stuff to be successful online. And then you're still earning these weenie ass commissions. My first month, I worked about 18 hours a day. You remember that, Dave? You do the same thing? Yep. 18 hours a day from the morning till the evening. And I remember I actually earned a commission. I got it in the mail. And this is a true story. I was pumped up. My heart was racing. I went, you know, those checks, they got those little serrated edges and things like that from a lot of affiliates. We actually deposit money just straight into your bank account. You actually get the deposits, if you could imagine, commissions depositing just straight into your bank account. That's what we do. But, you know, they were sending me a check, and it took forever to get to me. Right? It was like 2 weeks after I earned it, and usually it's like 4 or 6. And I took that serrated edge off that thing, and I opened it up all pumped up, and I looked at that shit, and I said, fuck, and I put it on the ground and stomped on it because it was like $15. I worked it out to where it was like 0.001 cents an hour that whole month that I worked. But my point is that when you're earning these weenie ass commissions, you just can't make a lot of money. It takes forever. You got to have thousands and thousands of customers to make any money. Now, luckily, I know how to get thousands and thousands of customers. We built 72,000 people teams and things like this, and I've personally enrolled thousands of customers into stuff, but still, I'm earning these weenie ass checks. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to be able to have a breakthrough and help people make money like the gurus do, but without being a guru. Yeah, and you know, something that's interesting that I heard you say when you were talking about that was the whole concept of this is what I thought about, was not only was it frustrating for you, but if you want to go out there and you want to help people make money, which is really, what is that? You're going out, you're getting customers, you're going out, you're showing other people how to do the same thing. Well, the majority of the time, even if you do work your ass off like what we did when we first got started, the normal person, the average person who doesn't have time to do that, it's just impossible for them to duplicate what you're doing. So I'm gonna be just truthful with you on an emotional standpoint. What it came to for both of us, it came to the point to where we were absolutely frustrated, not only with the success that we weren't having, but also with the success that the people around us weren't having too. We were sick and tired of every single week a new guru launching a new product to all of our people, getting them more overwhelmed, getting them more confused, getting them more frustrated with more information overload than they had when they first got started and were failing. And we're now at a point to where they had spent more money, got out their credit card more times to buy more stuff, and we're still at a point to where they didn't know how to get started. See, any man can complicate something. It takes somebody who's smart and intelligent to make something simple. I realize that. And when I realized that if we could take our skill sets that we were using, that had finally kind of chiseled these skill sets out over the course of many months and many years to finally start having success, and we could package that and box that up into a simple 3-step system that we could give our team, that we could give people, and not sell it to them, not convince them, not sell and tell to them, but literally just hand it over to them for them to apply in their business, that would make a difference. See, it was a point to where we came not only physical of being frustrated in our business, but also mentally and emotionally frustrated in our business, and frustrated seeing people continue to do the same thing. It was like the definition of insanity. We were seeing people doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. We knew that if we had to change, or if things were going to change for not only us but also other people, that we had to introduce an entirely new system of getting money.
actually a formula of getting money, and it had to be simple. So that's when we started brainstorming. And a little over a year ago, actually about 18 months ago, I actually flew down to his house in Costa Rica. Now, of course, right now we're sitting in my house up here on the beaches of Florida.
Yeah,
but
I just got to say something. Isn't it badass living in a huge-ass house?
Yeah.
Dave Sharp just moved into this badass house a little while ago. I just want to congratulate you, brother.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what happens when you come up with a formula that works instead of trying to do the same thing over and over again expecting a different result, which was what I did for so many years, not only in my life before marketing, but also what I did in marketing when I first got started, buying guru after guru's products expecting a different result when all it was doing was overwhelming me. I needed somebody to give me a system that worked, that was simple. See, there's lots of so-called systems out there, but I'll tell you what, you log into the back office and it's like 42 different sets of instructions that you need to follow before you even start marketing.
Before you even get an idea to market something to earn a weenie ass check,
exactly.
You got to go through the 42 training.
Exactly.
You know and then you got to set up what the 42 trainings told you to set up, which takes another year and a half.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm coming from a perspective, and I want you to remember this, that I'm coming from a perspective of not owning a company, of not, some guru sitting on top of a mountain, even though you actually do live on top of a mountain. We're coming from a perspective of actually being marketers in the trenches, of being entrepreneurs, of being people who have tried all of this bullshit that all of these people have come out with that have not worked inside of our business. That's the perspective that we're coming from. So about 18 months ago, I flew down to Costa Rica, and we put our heads together. And after we put our heads together and we started to throw ideas around, we took two visions and put them together. We took skill sets that you were good at certain things and I was good at certain things, and we asked ourselves, what if we can combine our skills? What if we can take the things that we're really good at, like communicating, like writing copy, like setting things up and selling for people on videos, and what if we can combine that, package that into a simple three-step system that we can not sell but give people and let them use it inside of their business to start to get money? And that's when we came up with the concept of what we're literally not going to sell you today, because I don't feel that I'm at a place in my business that I need to sell, tell, or convince anymore. I'm at a place now to where we've now showed and helped and led over 72,000 people. Those people that you heard at the beginning of this video was just a very small fraction of the people who have gotten started with what we're teaching you and what we're giving you inside of this video to get results. What if we could take that, right? This is what we thought. What if we could take that and give that to the people? And that's exactly when we came up with the solution of Empower Network, right? That's when we came up with a solution of a simple three-step system. What is that system? Well, it's blog daily, tell others, get money. Why did we come up with the concept of blogging? Well, for example, I'm more of a paid advertising, copywriting, communication guy. He's more of a content creation communication guy, and he had been using, and I want you to talk about that, you'd been using creating content. A lot of people don't realize that creating content, blogging or shooting a video like what we're using right now is one of the quickest ways to attract customers and build a relationship. You can use other people's videos, like on this page right now. You're actually going to be able to use this video that you're watching right now to sell stuff for you. But we wanted to teach people how to take the skill sets and the ideas that they already had and that were already in their head and take those and show them how to communicate those to the world to attract people to them to get money. And that's why we condensed the system and simplified it down to the three steps of blog daily, tell others, and get money. I want you to talk about how that applied in your life before and how it applies in your life and everybody else's business and life right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I'm going to talk about here for a second is how to make money blogging daily and telling others and getting money, and really how easy it is here versus some of the things that I've done and some of the things I've taught people to do, because I've actually been teaching blogging for years outside of Empower Network. So quick story continuing on with the van. You know, I was living in this van, I was almost homeless, got woken up by the police one night, decided to start marketing online, and I bought a little product from some schemy ass video online, right? And I clicked a button, I bought, and I went through 8,000 tutorial videos, and I needed to learn how to advertise to sell products so I could get commissions, right? I had to learn how to market, right? Well, all the techniques around, except for blogging, took a lot of money to do. So I was kind of forced into blogging, Dave. It was, you could say it was a gift and a curse for me at the time, right? Because I had to set up everything. I was forced into blogging. I had to blog, right? So I just started doing it. I started writing articles. I started making videos on this dumbass ugly site years ago. And the goal of the site was simple. Somebody reads a blog post, they click on one of my ads, they put their email address in, they see a video like you're seeing right now, and we sell a product to them and get them as a customer, and then we take that customer and we teach them how to have success. That was my model. Well, here's the thing. It worked like crazy. Because blogging is the most sustainable way to get traffic online as an internet marketing strategy, my site started getting 500 visitors a day and 1,000 visitors a day, and I started making sales literally every single day. I remember the first day I made $300 in a day. I was so excited because my mind calculated that out. If I did it every day, it was $10,000 a month. That month I didn't make $10,000. That month I made $30,000 because my traffic started to exponentially expand. The problem was, though, is I taught people how to do it for years. There was a few people who latched onto what I taught them. They became 6- and 7-figure earners with what I taught them how to do through blogging, through free advertising, through writing articles, through making videos, a couple hours in the evening, right? But those people, I'm going to tell you something, they were full-time, they spent thousands of dollars on education and tools, they spent hundreds of hours in technical frustration, and it was a few people out of thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So I had this brilliant idea one day when I was frustrated. I said, what if I could help people just blog daily, tell others, and make money literally from their first day? What would the value of that really be? What if I could help people make the money that I've been making for the last 2 years, but they didn't have to know the stuff that I know. They didn't have to have the technical resources they have. They didn't have to run a technical company infrastructure. They could just get started and make money. What if I could help people do that? And I had this idea to take that skill set and to put it into a system that everybody can use, to make it to where your blog is set up instantly with no work, with no technical headache. And here's the question that I want to ask you just for a second right now. If I could give you a $30,000 a month or more business model in a box, you could literally just take that, what's that really worth to you? Well, here's what it's worth to start. I've paid over the years on all the seminars and stuff like this I've been to. Before I got involved in internet marketing, I've probably
This is
paid
actually
about
ridiculous how much
$20,000.
we've spent personally
Well, we don't even
in
want
our
to talk
business.
about what we have here running the company.
Yeah.
I want to talk about what I spent to get where I was at. I probably spent about $25,000 in education over the years on selling, because it's what I've been doing my whole life, just to learn how to sell stuff. When I got online, before I started succeeding, I was paying hundreds of dollars a month for video hosting and for article writing services and for SEO tools and for my blog and for design and all this stuff. And still my website loaded and looked like shit. I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. But after a while, my site started loading fast. Now I've put $5,000 in technical programming on my personal site, Dave. My hosting is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month, and it still doesn't look good, load as fast, or convert as well as the Empower Network system that somebody gets when they start without any technical setup or headache whatsoever. So what's it really worth to you? Well, here's what it is in the franchise world and traditional business. If I could hand you that business model where literally you could just piggyback off my credibility, where we could sell for you and you could keep not a part of the money, but you could literally keep all the money. If you could keep all the money and we could sell for you, if you could literally get all the money, if you saw those guys at the beginning of the video, those guys who were getting a lot of money, if you saw those guys and how much money they were making, how much money they were getting, the reason they were getting so much money is because they're keeping it all. When they make a product sale, they get all the money. Somebody buys the blog from this video that you're watching right now, and you get all the money. If you just get started and you sell this, and all you got to do is get people to this video, right? You keep all the money. If you could keep all the money, here's what I know. I know that you could make more money than you've ever made in your life, because I can sell and Dave can sell better than any two people you've ever met in your life, and we're going to be selling for you. I remember sitting on a webinar with Tony Rush. Tony Rush actually popped up earlier on the video, and he'd just been in a few months. And he always invited people to my live streams, and he sent me this email after this live stream. He says, Dave, I just made $2,500 doing nothing. Because I was selling for him on the live